The stadium lights burned brightly above the pitch, illuminating the historic grounds of Camp Nou like a cathedral of football. Tens of thousands of fans filled every corner of the stadium, their voices rising into the cool night air of Barcelona. The atmosphere carried something electric, a feeling that tonight might not just be another match. Tonight might be history. Football has always been a game of moments. Moments that freeze time, moments that echo through generations, moments that turn young dreamers into legends. And on this night, all eyes were on a single name, Lamine Yamal. A boy who, not long ago, was just another kid running through the narrow streets of Barcelona with a ball at his feet. But tonight, he walked onto the pitch wearing one of the most powerful numbers in football history, number 10. A number that carried the weight of legends, a number worn by players who had changed the game forever, a number that demanded brilliance. And now, it belonged to Lamine Yamal. The cameras zoomed in as he stepped out of the tunnel. His expression was calm, focused. Yet behind those steady eyes, there was a storm of emotion. Because every young footballer knows what that number means. It means responsibility. It means expectation. It means the entire world is watching. And tonight, the world was watching him. But to understand why this moment mattered so much, we have to go back. Back to the beginning. Long before the roaring stadiums. Long before the television cameras. Long before the headlines. Back to a young boy with a dream. In the neighborhoods of Barcelona, football isn't just a sport. It's a language. It's a rhythm. Children play in small courtyards, narrow streets, dusty playgrounds. A ball is never far away. And among those children was a boy who seemed to carry something special every time he touched the ball. Lamine Yamal. Even as a child, there was something different about him. Not just speed, not just skill, but imagination. The kind of creativity that turns simple movements into magic. While other kids chased the ball, Yamal danced with it. He would glide past defenders who were twice his size. He would twist and turn, leaving opponents frozen. And sometimes, he would do things that even adults couldn't explain. Things that made people stop and say, "Did you see that?" Word began to spread. Coaches began to notice. And eventually, the doors of La Masia opened. La Masia, the legendary academy of FC Barcelona, the place where footballing dreams are either forged or broken. It is not an easy place to survive. Every year, hundreds of young talents arrive with the same dream, to wear the famous Barcelona shirt, to step onto the pitch at Camp Nou, to become the next star of the club. But only a few make it, and even fewer become special. From the moment Yamal entered La Masia, the whispers began. Coaches spoke quietly among themselves. Scouts watched closely from the sidelines, because what they were seeing was rare, very rare. A player who combined raw talent with fearless confidence. A teenager who wasn't afraid to try the impossible. A young footballer who played with joy. And that joy was contagious. As the years passed, Yamal rose through the ranks. Game after game, season after season. His name began appearing more frequently in reports, highlights, youth tournaments. Soon, fans began hearing about him, a teenage wonder kid, a future star, a player who might one day carry Barcelona forward. But football is a ruthless world. Talent alone is never enough. Young players face pressure, injuries, doubt, and sometimes the crushing weight of expectations. Many promising players disappear before they ever reach the first team. But Yamal kept going, training harder, playing smarter, growing stronger. And eventually, the moment arrived. His first call to the senior squad. For many young players, this moment is overwhelming. The locker room suddenly feels different. The players you once watched on television are now sitting beside you. The pace of the game is faster. The pressure is heavier. The mistakes are more costly. But when Yamal stepped onto the pitch for the first time, he didn't look scared. He looked ready. the crowd noticed. Fans leaned forward in their seats. Because sometimes you can just tell. Sometimes you can see the spark of something extraordinary. And slowly, match by match, Yamal began proving that he belonged. His dribbling mesmerized defenders. His vision unlocked defenses. His confidence grew with every touch of the ball. But even with all that promise, there was still one moment that hadn't arrived yet. One moment that every attacker dreams about. The first goal. Not just any goal, but a goal that defines you. A goal that announces your arrival. And on this night, that moment was coming. The match had already begun. Barcelona were controlling possession, moving the ball with their signature rhythm. Pass after pass, movement after movement. The crowd hummed with anticipation. Every time Yamal touched the ball, the stadium reacted. A murmur, a gasp, a rising wave of excitement, because fans knew something special might happen. Opposing defenders stayed close to him. They knew the danger. They had watched the videos. They had studied his style. But knowing what he might do and actually stopping him, those were two very different things. Minutes passed. Barcelona pressed forward. The ball moved quickly through midfield. Then suddenly, a pass slipped between the defensive lines. The ball rolled toward Yamal on the right side of the pitch. Time slowed. He controlled it perfectly. One touch, then another. A defender rushed toward him. Yamal feinted left, then exploded right. The defender was gone. The crowd erupted. Another defender stepped in. Yamal dropped his shoulder, spinning past him with effortless balance. Gasps echoed around the stadium. Now he was moving toward the edge of the box. The goal was in sight. The goalkeeper shifted his position. Defenders scrambled back, but Yamal kept moving forward, calm, focused. The entire stadium held its breath. Then, he struck the ball, a precise curling shot. The ball soared through the air, past the outstretched gloves of the goalkeeper, and into the back of the net. For a split second, silence, and then explosion. The stadium erupted into pure chaos. Fans leapt to their feet. Voices roared like thunder. Flags waved wildly in the stands. And there, in the center of it all, was Lamine Yamal, standing near the corner flag, arms raised, eyes shining. He had done it, his first goal. And not just any goal, his first goal as Barcelona's number 10. A moment that would be replayed again and again. A moment that would be remembered for years. His teammates rushed toward him. They surrounded him with hugs, laughter, shouts of celebration. Because they knew what this moment meant. Not just for the match, but for the future. For Barcelona. For the fans. For the boy who had once dreamed about this exact moment. Back in the stands, thousands of supporters were chanting his name. Yamal! 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 A new hero had arrived. But what made this moment even more powerful was the meaning behind the number on his back. Number 10, a symbol of creativity, of brilliance, of magic. And tonight, a new chapter had begun. Because football is always searching for its next story, its next legend, its next unforgettable moment. And as the celebrations continued inside Camp Nou, one thing was becoming clear. This goal was only the beginning of a journey filled with challenges, triumphs, and unforgettable nights. The beginning of a career that might one day be spoken about in the same breath as the legends who once wore that same number. For Lamine Yamal, the dream had only just begun, and if this night proved anything, it was that the future of Barcelona was shining brighter than ever. Because somewhere inside that roaring stadium, a new number 10 had announced himself to the world. And the football world was finally starting to understand that they were witnessing the rise of something very special.